Guys, good evening and welcome back. All right, so in today's video I want to show you guys how to join the sidelines of our English trouser. Now I have had several questions about how to join the lines so that it doesn't have issues. Now everything has a trick, so here I am trying to show you guys how to join the sides. I have matched the corresponding sides, the left panel to the right panel, the left to the left and the right to the right. So this is the joining section. Please note importantly, in most cases, most people join and have issues. The one of the trouser panels looks longer than the other, and the error will result from the sideline coming to the front. So here I have my sideline, I place this way. Now my machine footer will be placed immediately after the weaving. Now the joining must be held in a way that it tallies very well, right? Then you must hold it from the pocket tip this way. Now your joining must be smooth and straight enough. Look at the joining line. Then you must be adjusting the trouser panels as you are going. Make sure that you retain the same stitching width. Then once you are going, you will be adjusting it gradually, and make sure that you hold the down part of the trouser. This must be held and then stretch it very well, and then hold the middle. See my hand, how I'm holding the middle while I clip and stitch the side lines. This will make the panels to be equal without having any excesses. And if it does have excesses, please don't cut it off, because the excesses will make the side panel of the trouser to be stretchy if you cut it off. So after you must have joined the side lines, now the next thing as well I want to show us is how to fix the zip on our trouser. So stay tuned to the end of the video and see how this is done as well. So now, after you must have done the side joining, the next to do is to open press. Now most people don't do this, so you must make sure you follow the processes I am showing you in this video for you to have a perfect finishing. Then you have to sprinkle water inside the trouser side joining, and then use your iron and iron it out all through this way. Make sure that it is properly ironed and relaxing, right? Because this will help you as well to have the panel lapped. So now once the line is done this way, then you iron all through to the end. So this is what you will do till the very end, because you will make sure that the side lines are properly relaxing before you even proceed to the zip fixing and the coupling of the trouser panels. These things I'm showing you now are very important, and if you follow the process, you will not have issues on your trouser stitching. And make sure you watch the video to the end for you to understand all the whole processes needed. Now you fold the lining. If you have not watched this video before, I have a video on how to draft a trouser on my previous uploads. So go through the channel and get to it, and then you have to learn how to cut a perfect lining for a trouser. The lining should be pleated in this form. Please, very important, because if you don't pleat it, it might help to distort the trouser. But if you pleat it, it will be strong enough and it will be good enough for you, right? So just make sure you follow the process of this pleating. Then once you are done with this, you iron out all the necessary components, and once it's done, you also iron out the back panel as well, and then you are good to go. So this will be how you do your coupling processes. I also do this on the other part of the trouser panel before I proceed to my zip fixing. Guys, good evening and welcome back. All right, so in today's video we want to learn how to fix our band on our trouser. Now bear in mind I have shown us how to do our wet pockets, and this is the time to do our band. So the first thing you're going to do is to make sure that you have attached your other material band on the trouser. And here I have what they call the specially ordered band. Now look at the way I am trying to raise the band. Now this will help you to make the band stand without contracting the main trouser waistband. Then once you fix your loop, you also stitch. Don't forget to double stitch. Then look at what I'm doing. Push it up and then allow it to lap properly. This will make the band to be a bit stretchy, and it will now allow you to lap it properly when you are locking the waistline. If you don't do it this way, you have issues whereby the band and the waist trouser will not be corresponding. It will result to rumples, foldings, and unbalanced nature on the waistline of your trouser. So if you follow this procedure, you will have achieved a great result and you will not have much issues on your trouser fixing, on your band fixing. Make sure you raise it up at intervals and then hold it down and stitch. Allow it to lap properly. I have done this one now. Let me do the other side as well. After that, you now trim off this. Now, this is called an English trouser. So if you want to learn how to cut this English trouser and draft it, I have other videos I made on my channel. You could as well join my Telegram pet class by sending a message on the number that will appear on the screen. So trim off the excesses this way. Now, this trim means it will help you tuck out the excess of the um, band extension smoothly without having much problems. So this is how you will do it. Then after you must have done this now, you now tuck it out or tuck it in rather this way and then arrange it properly. Now the essence of this video is to show you guys some tips on how to fix your band because I got some questions, people asking me how to fix the band that will make it relax properly without having much problem. So this is the trick I use in fixing my band. And if you want to learn more on this, I also showed you guys how to do our um, drafting stage in my previous videos. So the next I will do now is the next one as well. Okay guys, so now I am fixing the other parts of the band. Now these areas I am showing us are the vital areas that everybody needs to take serious if you are going to be a good fashion designer. So these are the things you should know because if you don't know them and you're making your trousers, you'll be having series of issues and complaints. Please note how I am pushing off the band and holding it firmly with my left hand while I use my right hand to control it to fall in. So this is very, very important. So this is a professional way of fixing your band and it will stand out and make it lap properly. So you make sure you go all through that way. And then once you go all through this way, look at the loops. Don't forget to fix your loops as you are progressing. And then after this, the next to do as well is to bring your zip lining cover, that the flap inner cover. Bear in mind that this measurement is 5 inches by length of 16, 17, depending. Then fold in this form, make it to cover the zip by 1 inch or thereabout, or 1.5. Place it under the band this way, and then stitch all through that way as well. At this point, you are going to create any shape of your choice at that very point. So you can create any shape of your choice, but make sure you have exceeded the zip point, right? You must have crossed the zip point, then create any shape of your choice, and then sew all through this way. So this is how you will do yours as well. So don't forget to like and share my video, comment, and also tell me where you're watching from, and also tell me how impactful this video might have been to you as well. So cut your threads and then notch that particular area, then cut off the excesses. It's very important. Cut off the excesses this way, cut them off that way, right? But look at how I cut the band area, cut it in a straight form and not in a slanted form. Then tuck it in as well, tuck it in as well this way, and after which you are good to go. As you can see how fine our band is. So the next I will show you guys will be the locking of the back waist area as well. So now we are trying to place the back panel area to lock the waist. So the first thing to note is that you must make sure you align them properly. It must be aligned properly this way. So once you align it properly, you now locate the extra allowance of your waist point, which was visible on the trouser. But if you can't see it, you have to reapply your waist at this very point. So make sure this band tallies properly with this. You must tally properly with that, right? So once it tallies properly, the two bands must tally. And then after that, you start from that particular position and pin. Please don't start from the beginning. Start from that point of the waistline and pin your trouser. So once you pin it, then you apply your stitch, double stitch in there, and then normally we used to apply the hip, but can just reduce your hand when you are going down on the hip or on the crouch area. Give it a 1 inch end closure at the crouch point. Then once you are done with that, the next thing to do is to lock up the band. So now, because I don't lock straight up, I lock in a T shape for this particular trouser. I am going to stop like half an inch before the tip of the trouser. It will help me to lock the band, right? So after that, you are meant to double thread it. Now this double threading is to reinforce the tension at the back waist, at the back hip area, so it doesn't tear off easily when you climb the bike or when you stretch your legs, or try to jump or dance or do any strenuous activity that will end up giving pressure or tension to the back hip area. So you need to double thread on that same line. Please don't create a second line. Double thread on that same line as very close as possible. So this will help to reinforce the back waist trouser. So having done this now this line you're going to double thread is the one you're going to use to lock your waist point. So at this point now, you are going to also cross check the waist area and make sure that your hand is straight as possible, right? Your hand must have locked the back waist. So you now start locking your band. Please pay attention on these parts of the waist locking. This is where most people also have issues. So you fold it in an angular form. Now, for you to lock the back waist, you are going to start, or rather, for you to lock the band, you are going to start from the center back and tack it. That tacking is to help hold it firmly before you proceed, which I'll also show you as we proceed in this video. Then you're going to start like 2 inches on the other part or on the other panel of the trouser, then stitch from there, and then start from that position to lock all through this way. Now that position will help you to maintain a uniform fitting when you start the finishing. All right, so now we are trying to fix the hook. Now look at the hook. Now before you lock the main band, you are meant to fix your hook, and the hook must be positioned at the center of the band, immediately on the zip position or on that line of the zip. Make sure that the hook is facing inwards, then turn it from inside, and then use the underneath plate to lock it. So place it in this way and bend the legs of the hook to go back. The two down will go back, while the one in front will come in front, right? So the hook must go in opposite directions for it to lap or fit in properly. So when you have done the first one, you're also going to do the eye of the hook, right? The one that it hooks in. Then also on the center of the band and on the zip position. Push it inside this way, and then make sure it's straight enough. Don't allow the eye to be bent or slanted. So once you are done this way, you also bring the flat plate and then lock it in this way, and make sure that this time around the legs goes inside. The both of them will face each other. So once you're done with that, you're good to go. Then you can now start locking your band, your waistband, and making sure that everything corresponds. So you start from the band extension area and position it properly that way, and make sure that your hand is as smooth and straight as possible. So once you have done this, then thread it all through this way, thread all through this way, and then make sure that your threading is ending at the same point where the band ended, so that the thread becomes a bit invisible, right? So make sure it goes all through that way. Look at how it's moving. It's not going to be visible to anyone as long as you are using exact color of the thread. And when you get to your loop, you are meant to run under the loop and stop stitch it, and push your machine footer above the loop and continue from there. So this is what you will do from the beginning to the very end. And once you are done with that, your band closure is ready. And then you proceed with your leg locking and hemming and the other finishing ironing, right? All right, so I will lock my band this way, and then after the locking, I will now come back and show you guys the results for you to see how it is. I'll also show you other vital areas on this video. So try to like my video, give me a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, and invite your friends to come and learn with us as well. Now, when you lock the band and get to this point, this is the point of the end part of the band, right, where the eye of the hook is. So you are going to thread it on top this way. Please watch closely. So you're going to arrange the zip properly this way and thread it on top this way. Make sure that it is not squeezing. Thread all through to the very end there, and don't allow your machine to climb your zip so it doesn't break your needle or alter the settings of the machine. So once you're done with that, this is how you will finish up this area properly. So you fold that lining. Remember that the lining is a way longer than expected. So start from like 2 inches high of the flap and then start threading the lining. Watch closely how it's going to be threaded. So thread it all through to this very point. And then once you're done with that, you cut your threads, and then trim off some excesses here. Trim it out, some excesses there. Trim it out, and then you are almost done from here. And the next thing you're going to do now will be to hold the two crouch flap area together. So cut your threads, or you can still thread the zip curve flap area. So the width of this is 1.3, 1.5 maximum. By the length of the zip position, that is all you need to do. So start from there and then measure out 1.2, 1.3, 1.5 maximum, and make sure that your hands must be straight on this area before you proceed. And once you're threading, once you get to like 1.5 inches before the zip end, you start making your curve. And make sure you arrange the underneath linings, the flaps, the panels of the trousers, so that it doesn't stitch underneath. So then curve it that way, and then you are done with that. Then cut off your threads, and make sure you cut off everything and cross check what you have sewn to enable you to be certain that there is no wrong threading or whatsoever. So after that, you now hold the both crash the two flaps together from 2 inches up or thereabout, then thread it in this form. This threading is to make it to clip as one, so it doesn't open apart when you unzip your trouser. So after that, look at what you are going to have here. And then the next thing to do here is to cut off your threads. Wherever there's threads, cut them off. And then you start locking the inner leg and doing the closure, which I'll also show you as we progress in this video. Okay, so now at this stage, we are trying to lock the lap area, the knee ankle of our trouser. So here is the time you will apply the measurements of your customer. So the ankle we had is 14.5, that's 7.25. So you mark from here, from the edge of the fabric all through 14 ankle, sorry, 15 ankle, sorry, then 7.5. You start from here, please note, and not from the center joint or the side joint, right? Start from here, measure the ankle. So these are the areas where some persons make mistake. Some people will start from the joining point, whereas you should start from the end of the trouser. Then you mark ankle of 15 or whatever answer you have. Then you join accordingly as shown. Then you are meant to mark the knee as well. And when you mark this ankle, please make sure that your hand is straight enough. So once you're approaching the knee point, like 3 inches before the knee, you apply your knee. So the knee has already been calculated. and have been added on the drafting stage. So 1/2 inch was what was programmed for it to be used to lock the trouser. So you continue locking with that measurement all through to the laps. So if you have followed my way of trouser drafting, you will understand this pattern of locking. So you can still apply for the lap and cross check if you are still in line with what you had in mind. So once you're in line, you lock it as shown. So I will lock this now. I'll come back and show you guys how to lock the other part of the trouser, and make sure that whatever you used on the right or left leg or panel is also what you're going to use on the corresponding panel as well. So when I lock the both of them, I will come back, guys, and show you how to lock the center panel and the flap for the zip as well. So now this is the time for us to lock the center crouch position. Now remember how we locked our trouser halfway. So you open up the trouser panels in a C shape form, then open it up that way, then start from the front crouch area and then continue from there and thread it all through. Open the crouch, both the under one and the one on top. Make sure it's opened up in this form. Then thread it and then join the threading to the O or the first line you have sewn. So this is how to lock the center point. Then cut your threads, cut your threads. I'll also show you guys how to close the zip lining cover. So for the zip lining cover, you are going to fold it this way and then hold it from that position. Cut some excesses and then make sure you have some excess foldings. Don't allow it to the exact length. As you can see how you squeeze, like 2 inches squeezing. That squeezing is to enable it to relax inside the customer's body if he puts it on. So fold it that way and then just pack it from there. Make sure it's packing from the original line which you have used in joining the crotch area. So these are more awards you have learned so far, and I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please do subscribe to my channel, give me a like and thumbs up, and also invite your friends to come and learn how to make clothes with easy and simplified method. Thanks guys for watching. See you in my next video. Now, after you must have done the band folding and everything, the next to do is to iron. So in ironing, there are some things to observe. So you must make sure that these two side lines are corresponding. This line and this line must match on both trousers. So this is the trick to have a balanced trouser, right? So once you are done with that, this is what we have. So you make sure you iron inside of the trouser area. Remove every rumples in this form. Make sure it's lapped all through this way with your steam iron or your dresser iron. However, if you're making use of dresser iron, please kindly use sprinkler or apply water on it to make sure that it don't burn or shine the surface of this fabric. So once you are done with this, you make sure you iron out all the rumpled area and make sure everything is relaxing. Look at how relaxed it is. So arrange everything and do this patiently. Don't be in a haste, right? Do it patiently. Do the both legs and make sure it's lapped properly as shown in this video. All right. So once you're done with this now, the next you will see or have is to also do the other leg as well. Do the other leg from the inside or the outside. However, then arrange it properly, iron, and then the last thing to do here is to do the folding. The folding is hemming, so which I have done previous videos on that, which you can still search on my YouTube channel on how to do hemming of a trouser. Thanks guys, this video brings it to the end of this trouser illustration. See you guys in my next and subsequent videos. Bye bye for now.